In the entrance space, I put 3 different wallpapers on one side of a space. So we have altogether 3 wallpapers. In the big middle space, there are wooden sculptures and one paravent with ceramic tiles on it, and in the third space you can see drawings of me. The wallpapers come originally from book pages, collages from book pages, and I found these images in books which are around 100 years old. I take old images because they have a different printing technique. So I can make them very big in the computer and don't have this raster points which you have today. And so I make collages from different spaces, like I often take stairs or arches, something which is very sculptural and perspective. And then I kind of put them together like that it kind of fits, and I make them really huge and install them in a certain space. And also I never showed drawings on a figurative wallpaper. Yeah. I showed them only on abstract ones, because I did abstract wallpapers also before, which were much more atmospherical, and they worked only with deepness and light and shadow very much, but not so much with concrete architecture. And I think that's maybe too much if you would add drawings on an architectural motive. I sometimes think the drawings deserve also just to be presented normally sometimes, just to have nothing which is taking attention away, so you can just concentrate on the drawing itself. I like when I plan an exhibition, or some works just come unconscious. They come out of more how can I say, subjective view, or more from a feeling. But other works you plan like that is there's a dialogue in between. So what I like is when you find in totally different contexts, like a wallpaper and then sculpture and then drawing, some more visual things which kind of become a dialogue. So maybe if you look at one wallpaper and next second you look in the space to the wooden sculptures, you find some forms again. Just not very, it's not that it's quoting each other, but it kind of creates a dialogue. So, and that's what I like. If you have, you work a lot with the view of the spectator in a show. And this space in KIOSK Gallery is very demanding and also very perfect for this, because I never showed in a space where you can create so many different views. And you can really work very well with them. It's also sometimes hard work, because you just have to walk around all the time and look if from every point it's a good view, but at the end you have a lot of possibilities to do. If you have just a square space normally, then you have kind of a lot of borders, or it's very simple. The most important basis to make art, or to start an artwork, is actually architecture, I would say, and also material. So the sculptures come from architecture, so I make some bigger elements. I saw somewhere just in small, and then I also think of them as different characters in a way. So I just try to, and that's very intuitive then. When I have the form, then I don't plan what to do with it. I just listen to, or I react to what I think about it, and that's very intuitive process. So they become for me kind of individual persons or characters in a way. So I just play with them. And with the drawings, it's also this is also very intuitive, I must say. I don't plan them in a way, even if it's very geometric and you need things like lineals and circles to construct it. But I use the paper just as playing material, and that's also that you get a lot of drawings which you just throw away actually, because you can't correct them. So it's you just see the results of that, what I found is worth to show. But there are a lot of others which are not usable anymore. But in a way it's also about creating on this space of paper a kind of structure and form and atmosphere, I would say. It's kind of a small and concentrated sketch of other works I do in this space. I definitely think that abstraction gives you, that's why I'm connected to it, gives you a lot of space and for your own associations or for your own how you enter this work, much more than some works which kind of didactic already telling you what you have to think in a way. I mean, I like the openness of abstraction very much, yeah. And I always, when for example, when you go to Daya Beacon, where you can see also a lot of minimal art, I also have sometimes this very spiritual moments, even if they probably refused any moment of spirituality. I would say these work give you the space for it. So yeah, that's very important for me, I would say. You have to learn a lot about colors actually. It takes a long time to find out which colors and it's a very subjective process, I would say. Color is something, either you decide, have a conceptual decision about color, that you say, oh, I use only the ground, do you say ground? The basic colors, or I use only the raw colors, and you make a concept out of it, or otherwise I would say it's a very subjective matter. And yeah, I think you always change also. 10 years ago I would have used totally different colors than now. I would have avoided colors, I must say, because I was very scared of